Hey everybody, I'm Zach Pullen. Welcome to my studio where the magic happens. Okay, so like when I was younger, the thing that inspired me the most was actually just spending time with pencils and paper and filling absolutely everything I could. Once I got a little bit older, it was probably the illustrations in Rolling Stone magazine that inspired me the most. And I realized that somebody was behind all those drawings and paintings, and I wanted to do that too. As a student of art and working with materials all the time, the thing that sticks with me the most is what an instructor once told me, which was everybody has 10,000 bad drawings in them. Get them out of the way quick. Get to your good ones. And what he was really trying to say was that you have to work constantly, and perfection is not something that you attain right away. So you have to continue to work to try to get better. And I continue to work and try to get better. As far as my process goes, it's usually a phone call or a contract that I'm working on. And I start with little tiny sketches, usually on really horrible like construction paper. And I use colored pencils normally just to kind of create a composition. I usually give a client between 3 and 6 choices of compositions and ideas to go with. They choose one, and then once that's finished, then I bring in models to pose for me and I shoot photos. The iPhone makes it very easy now to do that. I used to shoot Polaroid. And so once I'm finished with the photos, then I start working, and I work on a translucent paper. But I usually work up a pencil drawing with like wolf pencils or colored pencils. And once I'm satisfied with my sketches, I'll scan those in and put them together compositionally and send that off for approval. Once the approval comes in, it's transferred to canvas. And then once the canvas is there and everything's good, then I start with oil paint. And then it's all based on deadline.
Now that we've seen some of Zach's cool art in his studio, we're going to do a project inspired by Zach Pullen's illustrations. Illustrators are always talking about how to develop their characters and how to give those characters expressions. So today we're going to do a fun lesson where we work on developing characters and making them have certain facial expressions. That can be one of the best ways to make your characters believable, to make them somebody that the audience wants to know, all that good stuff. So when it comes to developing your style, Zach Pullen has a very unique style that's very his own, instantly recognizable. All the best artists do. So when it comes to trying to find your own style, the best way to do that is sometimes to try on other people's styles. Try drawing like an artist that you admire, or try drawing from real life and then kind of putting a spin on it. So what we're going to be doing today, in your little kit that you have, you've got a pencil, you've got a blank little head template, and you've got all these cool little strips. And what we're going to use these strips for are creating different eyebrows, different eyes, and different mouths. And a combination of those 3 things can give your character many, many, many different facial expressions. Depending on how you arrange them, your character can go from looking happy to annoyed to mad. That's just kind of how you play with different facial expressions. So once you get your kit out, you're going to start with your templates. And you can start really with any of the facial features that you like. You'll notice that in your head template, there's a little slit on the sides. And this is where you're going to slide in those eye tabs. Our eyes, excuse me, our eyes are typically right in the middle of our heads. So that's right about where your eye templates are. You can start out by kind of putting a line on the side of each tab so that you know when you take that out where that's supposed to line up. And you can start playing with different eyes. You'll notice with mine, like I said, it's fun to try on other people's style. Maybe do Tim Burton eyes. You can look in the mirror and recreate your own eyes. You can do some anime eyes. Those are always very, very popular with kids. You can do any kind of eyes you can think of. You'll also notice, I forgot, in your kit that we've provided some examples for you to look at, to reference. Different facial features, different expressions. So if you're just totally blank and you don't know what to start with, pick a set of eyes on this sheet and try and recreate them. And you don't have to worry about how realistic or how accurate they look. Just start drawing. Draw lightly so that if you hate it, you can erase. That's always a good thing to do. Keep it loose, keep it sketchy. But just start playing around with different types of eyes. The other thing you'll have to do is right below your eyes, you're going to have to add in other certain features that our faces have, like the nose. And right below that tab, you can start by just very loosely, lightly, sketching in a nose. And on top of the eyes, you might have to add the bridge of the nose. And again, there's no wrong way. You can do a more cartoonish nose. You can do a more realistic nose. You're the artist. You get to decide. So sketch in that. You can do some shading around it. Noses are a lot of shading. You can keep it kind of simple. Totally up to you. The other thing you'll have to add is some ears. Our ears are usually lined up with the top of our eyes and go down to about the bottoms of our mouths. And you'll just kind of make a C shape and a backward C shape. Then you can start to play around with different mouths. And again, you have a lot of different kinds here that you can reference. You can look in the mirror and try and recreate your own mouth, look at magazines, look at all kinds of things. And again, always draw those little side pieces of the face just so you kind of know where to line your mouth up. And the last thing that can give your character expression is eyebrows. Different kinds of eyebrows. Again, I got some up here provided for you, different styles. Look in the mirror, see what kind of different things you can do with your eyebrows. Put one up, put one down. That hugely affects the way a face looks when you're drawing your characters. Simply changing out the eyebrows can make a character look scared. It can make them look mad. It can, like I said, make them look happy. It is a huge effect on what the rest of the face is doing. So play around. You have about 12 of these little different tabbies. You can use the front side, you can use the back side. Try and come up with as many different facial expressions that you can possibly think of. And then once you're finished with all that, you can go in and you can start to add other details like hair. You can add clothes, jewelry, scars, freckles, anything you want to add to your character. This is where you really get to start develop. And then when you're going to make something like a comic book or a work of art or something like that, you can reference this piece that you've created and kind of see how you created different facial expressions with those different features.
Okay, so there you have it. That's the studio. Appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you check out all the work at the Nick, and see you soon. Keep creating.